bothers me, and I'm sure you as well, as much as social injustice. Hello, welcome to Life as a Say podcast.
Yeah, welcome and thank you for joining us. So today we're talking about bullying and what has been happening recently in the news. A young Nigerian artist that was intimidated and bullied while he was alive, and unfortunately he passed away just recently. So we're just going to be talking about that and applying it to our own lives as in this current day and in this present time.
Yeah, I think bullying is something that, supersedes this generation. It's always been, even from the annals of history. It's an ill in our society, right? Even as children growing up, like from the schools, kids get bullied. It's now that more light is shed on it. I think when we grew up, I grew up
seen as a normal.
It was seen as, kids sometimes, you come home and cry and say, "Oh, mommy, my classmate bullied me," and sometimes some parents will tell their children, go back, you don't run away from the bully, challenge them. Yes, it's good to challenge bullies because bullies are weak. When you challenge them, they run away.
But why should we even have bullies?
Why should we even have bullies?
Why
exactly.
should society have bullies?
Exactly.
I think it's like, why should there be bullies? Why should somebody have that mindset that they ought to lord something over somebody because of what they have or a certain advantage that they perceive to have? So, and I think it's very unfortunate, like you mentioned, you had talked about like slavery that had happened before. It's unfortunate that in the 21st century and now that we're still seeing these things in our society, we're seeing them in our schools, we're seeing them in our churches, we're even seeing them in like workplaces or in just facets of life. It is very, very unfortunate that these things still are happening, and society has taken efforts, but the point is, it is so, even with the progress that we've made in other areas, this has continually been something that we're still making progress towards. We're still working on it. It's bullying is taking away talents, it's taking away lives, it's taking away people's ability to speak up, it's taking away things that are important to people. I find it very unfortunate. Like I'm like, why are we still talking about this? Like, why is this even a topic? I think civilization.
I think like humanity, humanity is just broken, honestly. The Bible says the heart of man is desperately wicked, right? That's why there is no place you go, or no church or no gathering you go where you wouldn't see rot and injustice and wickedness. I think it's just innate in us as human beings, because honestly at the heart of bullying is pride, is selfishness, is self-centeredness, right? So, and it's brokenness. A lot of people, if you read from research, there's a lot of people who come from homes where they weren't given that parental nurturing or love, kind of step out and become bullies because they are replicating what they see back home.
It's kind of a way to show power and control, like, oh, maybe I didn't have this at home, so I have to bully somebody to show how important I am, or to show power, control.
Because maybe they come from a family where someone wields that power, like bullies them, so they feel, okay, you're giving it to me, I'm going to go out there, look for someone else who's less than me and pour it out on them. So it's just brokenness. And I think the more we continue to talk about mental health, talk about healing of trauma, like childhood trauma, whatever it is, the better it will help us, because a lot of these bullies don't even know it is
what
bullying.
They're doing is good.
They don't even
bad,
know. Like the case of this young man you mentioned, this Nigerian artist, right? Record label people saw him and picked him up, gave him a platform, and I think because of that they feel, oh, we've helped you actualize your dream, now we own you. Whatever you say, we say you do. Like, you can't just up and go. Right, so it comes from the owner of the record label. There's something in him that makes him think he's Lord or God over someone else, another human, just because you help them.
And I think it goes back to the transactional thing we're talking about, when you are always a relationship, you are looking for what you can get from somebody instead of genuinely wanting to just help them and just help them thrive. Yes, and in helping them thrive, sometimes some of them, when they've blown like that, I'm not saying we'll still come back and thank you. Some of them will still come back and show their gratitude, but to put it as an expectation, or to say, okay, because I've helped you, now basically you owe everything to me, you can't just leave, you're no longer free. But when they came to you, or when you picked them up, they were free, but now it looks like their life. I feel like people should have a mindset that people should leave me better than they came towards me. And I feel like that's the mindset I want it to be. Nobody should be living my life worse, right? Do you understand? So somebody, you pick somebody up, somebody comes to you, okay, even if they were drinking Gary or they were not so, I'm not saying that he was drinking Gary, but I'm just saying that even if they were not so well to do, at least they had peace of mind. At least they could wake up in the morning and go still do things. At least, but now they are not even living in peace, even with whatsoever fame or money that you think you have gotten for them. And the truth of the matter is that nobody's God. Like, you can't, you did not create a life. You have no right to take somebody else's life because, or feel like somebody is indebted to you. People come and go. Like, even natural in life, it's not everybody, you know. And I think it's clear that we make that expectation, because sometimes you say, oh, I've invested in this person, and you are so hurt and you are so disappointed that you have not collected like your return on your investment on that person. You cannot help somebody with the expectation that this person that they have to repay it.
Pay you with their lives, not just repay. You know, some of these people, and that's why let's be very careful when we receive favors from people. For some people, like, it's a way to trap you. Honestly, I'm saying this from, like, when someone is good and nice, that is fantastic. But before you receive favors or, you know, help or benefits from someone, make sure it is what you should be doing. Because there's some help and favor someone gives you that is a trap. Do you understand? Some people, they help people. They're naturally philanthropists. They give without expecting return. But for some people, they are giving you is just a way to lure you and to say, oh, now I've done you this favor. You owe me, you repay me. Do you understand? So let's be careful about that. Not all open doors are from God.
Not all open doors are from God. And then, like us too, as human beings, we must have that mindset that whatever you don't have to sow. Like, there are people that I've helped that I've never, as in, like, I've never
that is you
and said that, okay, this person must repay me. Do you understand? I've let them walk like they walk freely.
But I'm telling that there are people.
Yes, I agree.
And I've encountered some. There are people that give you something.
Yes.
And you think, oh, it's just, they're just being kind and nice. But no, it's a deposit into your soul. Like, it's almost like, now
they're making
investment that
putting money inside bank.
Yes, that you have to pay back. So let's be careful. It's so unfortunate, honestly.
It's unfortunate that we have come to that.
And nobody is a self-made, all these self-made millionaire. No, someone gave you a handout. The guy we're talking about, the record label owner, probably he's from a rich home. Right? If he traces his ancestry to how his parents became rich, someone gave his dad or his mom a helping hand. So, like, it's life, it's circle of life. Like, let's learn to help each other and just let things go. Don't bully. Like, that issue of bullying, it's worse. It's different if it's your equal bully. I don't even know if, I think when it comes to bullying, there's a power disparity, right? Yeah, there's a power disparity.
And then somebody talked about it and said that sometimes when a bully wants to bully somebody, they've looked at the person, checked the person out, seen that they will probably win.
Yes.
They will probably win. So there's always something.
There's a disparity somewhere.
There's a disparity, whether it's either in size, if they're trying to fight you, or money
or influence.
People are more targeted than others.
Yes.
Because some people, like, to the bully they look like, but sometimes those people that you're looking at as a
weak person, they will show you. That's the bullies are cowards. When they come, they think you're weak. When you show them that, hey, I'm not weak, they shrink back. It's so terrible. And I think also it comes from upbringing. So I think, like, raising up children who are just innately kind.
Yeah, and
good people.
Confident kindness. Confident and kind and not expecting anything in return. Yeah. Like, just
expecting something is a sign of entitlement.
Yes.
Okay, so we've talked so much about bullying and all that, and really, it's a very broad topic. And for us, we're just the event that happened precipitated this discussion. That's
like
why we're focusing on this, right? Because bullying, as like from earlier civilization, from Bible days, like people like the Egyptians, bullied the Israelites. If you want to look at it that way, made them their slaves and all that, and then even up to modern civilization with slavery in America, right? The whites or the Europeans brought the black people, and so it's just all this. It's so funny because it doesn't just happen. It's not past tense. It's still happening everyday life, even in our workplaces, right? Like they're a group of maybe marginalized or underrepresented people, in your workplace, and you maybe notice how they're being treated or how they're being, you're not from them, you don't belong to that group, but I think it behooves us to become allies of people like that, right? Like, just position ourselves in such a way that when we see something wrong or something unfair, something unjust, that we rise and we speak. It might be scary, it requires courage, but it's something we should begin to.
And the truth of the matter is that, I like how you bring that up, to also talking when a lot of people will say, it's not my business, it's not my concern. We have that mentality, it's not my business, you need to mind your business. But the truth of the matter, you don't know the stone when somebody throws it, who is going to land on. So that's one thing with talking or not supporting like injustice or evil, because you don't know who it will affect in the future. Today is somebody else's son. Do you understand? We don't know who it will be in future, right? And I'm not saying that to scare anybody, but I'm just saying that keeping quiet sometimes is not always the solution. Like, if you see something and you feel like your voice will lend more like it will be of benefit to that situation, you can talk about it. Even if we cannot talk, some people say I can't really talk, we can pray.
Yes,
we can do other things. We can.
Yes, and there are also, like, in offices, there are these things called whistleblower, where you can anonymously report. Even in society, I think in Nigeria, I think they have whistleblower or something, I don't know, but I think some people are more vocal, some people are honestly more vocal, people like Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King, or like all those social activist leaders, like they are caught from a special material. But not everyone is like that, but you can support them. There are people around that maybe just be that person holding their hand, holding their hand, supporting them to
No, I was trying to say that I was reading about Nelson Mandela and people like Rosa Parks, like the American lady that said no. These people were quiet people, like they did not used to want to look for trouble, but they saw that this thing was bigger than them, and if they did not tackle it, like it will still come up. You understand? There's how something you'll be seeing something that it will be like, I need to talk about this thing, I need to face this thing, because I'm not just doing it for myself, also our children and the children to come. You have not learned the voice. Some people, they will prefer, they will give money. I was even listening to some people that are talking about
money,
this.
supporting.
There's a guy that just gave money to one of the people calling for justice, but what I'm saying is that there are different ways
you can support,
that you can
lend your voice, and you can write. I mean, I love, Twitter is a place where people come to lend their opinion, like just their situation, like that NSARS movement started, I think, if I'm not wrong, it gained momentum on Twitter, on social media, right? Because people are like, okay, there are other like-minded people like me that want to stand against this injustice. Okay, people are just tweeting. Let's form a band. Let's do a demonstration. That's it. So there are so many ways. Like you said, you don't have to be confrontational and be the Martin Luther King or Mandela everyone sees, but you can just be that. But the thing is that be doing something. Look for other people. Don't just keep quiet. Let's that thing is not okay. Did you see what happened? Did you see how that madam treated her house help? It's not okay. Let's do something.
It's also standing with the person that was not treated rightly. Most times the bullies are the ones that have the connections.
Yes.
So it is very hard for people to now leave those people because of what they will gain, not to stand with them, and to go and stand for somebody that basically is poor, they don't have anything to offer you. Do you understand? Like,
a lot of these, like even with George Floyd, this recent happening with the COVID, like I feel like a lot of noise was made, a lot of action were taken by people, by the community, and that's why the society is not where it should be yet, but at least people are speaking up.
At least we're not where we used to be. We're not where we
used to be, and if we keeping quiet and say let's just pray and hope that God would God has given us, has put fire within us. If it bothers you, like Amaka, nothing bothers me, and I'm sure you as well, as much as social injustice, because like someone someone bullying another, it is terrible. Like,
because you'll be saying, just let's take it, why didn't he fight? There's so many things people are saying, and I'm like, come, you have not faced it. Maybe that's why you're talking about it. You are talking about it that way. Why didn't he fight? And first of all, not everybody is brought up in an environment that they are fighting. So people are just by nature calm and gentle. And secondly, which ammunition does that boy have to be fighting somebody that is established and
rich and well connected,
also in a society that applauds the rich, doesn't care about how you make your money? It's just now people are talking about people that like our society really,
when we say our society, Nigerian society especially,
really doesn't care about how you make your money, as long as you are rich. And
people, like, they will do they can sell their arm and leg just to be rich, because in a society where it's only when you have money,
yes,
you gain respect.
Only when you have money. You can't talk if you don't have money. What was that? What's that? And we still see it also in the Christendom, where also we're looking at people's pockets to be able to determine whether we should associate with them or not. You understand?
Yes.
And let's not leave church about, even church too. We do that. We sometimes we save the
spiritual bullying. That's what it's called.
Sometimes we save some seats for people because of how much they give to the church. Sometimes we so little ways we are practicing spiritual intimidation and bullying. And then when those people are maybe harassing other people, you silence it and say, no, he's a man of God, you can't do this, touch not my anointed, and all the things that we do to cover up evil. And honestly, it's
really bad. Amaka, we're talking about this as well, that even Jesus stood up against bullies. In the Bible, where he was talking about the Pharisees, he says they are whitewashed tombs, and that they
like polite insult.
He said, you will not enter the kingdom, you will not enter heaven. Meanwhile, you block the way for people to enter. You will put weight and burdens upon these people, give them so much burdens that you will not lift a hand to help them. Jesus really finished those Pharisees, because we're like intimidating and bullying the people of then that wanted to just serve God. And they put all these doctrines, these rules and regulations, and people were burdened. So it's important, even in our churches, like you said, we see a lot of it. Spiritual bullying, special treatment for some people, and then it shouldn't be that way.
And I'm not saying don't regard people that give money, but I'm saying that the detriment.
No, where did the Bible says you should regard people that give money? That's not the yardstick. Regard everyone.
Everybody.
Even in James, he says, if a man that is dressed well comes into your meeting, and you put him on how are you different than unbelievers? Everyone has dignity.
Everyone is made in the image of God, no matter what. Even Jesus was saying about that widow, and even Jesus acknowledged it. He says that when she gave everything she had, Jesus said, and this woman has given more than every other person here. Jesus was not looking at what she gave, was not looking at the fact that she was poor. Jesus was saying that this woman that you are saying is poor, this woman that you have marginalized as and put her at the back of society, is the richest. She is the one that has given the most. And if everybody is important to God, who created them, then who are you to now come and be bullying people out of the small
suppress and repress them
small money that you have? Don't even get me there.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong.
It's really wrong.
There's not intimidation, like just because maybe you are more powerful, like when it comes to even male and female, like a husband bullying and intimidating his wife, and like why vice versa. Thanks for saying that. Vice versa. Just anyone sometimes when I watch, there's some shows I'm watching and I just see someone who is like intimidating, or I'm like I get all riled up. I'm like, it's wrong, it's tough. And I think maybe if you haven't experienced it, because for me, growing up, I think I was bullied quite. I was bullied, so I identify with where that person who is being bullied. I'm like, I've been there, I feel the pain. So it's really we should stand up against social injustice. And bullying, right? I wanted to mention this as well. It leads it doesn't even leave physical scars. We're talking about physical and emotional. It leaves emotional scars within people. Because sometimes these bullies, it's not just about beating. Sometimes they use bad words on people that break people down. So it has a far-reaching effect. And some bullies even become bullies themselves. I mean, some people who have been bullied become bullies.
Give it back. We talked about it, like hurting people hurt people. So if you have been bullied, please, it's not still an excuse for you to be a bully. Not to say that because that has happened to me, let me go and share the bullying to the world. We're not sharing gift though, please. This is not generosity. So the fact that somebody bullied you does not mean you should become a bully. Go and get some healing.
Thank you. Go and get healing. Go get therapy.
And what God wants you
counseling
to do is to use when a bad experience has happened to you. I want to clarify it. As a Christian, what God expects you to do with every bad experience you have is to use it as a lesson to be a better person, one, and to use your story to encourage other people so they are not in that situation you find yourself.
Right.
That is the true area of growth and of ministry.
That's a word for someone. Please, just you know.
I don't want to hear that thing was done to me. It's a rite of passage. I hear it a lot. Like some jobs, you just see the toxicity, and the people will just be like, "Oh, they did it to me when I was a new employee, and that happened to me when I got into school too, when I was a fresher in 100 levels." So God has called you for a purpose. We should not be doing to other people what we would not have loved to be done to us.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's a word there, Maka. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, honestly.
It's a word for someone. Yeah. So I think in conclusion to this, let's just learn to be kind. Kindness, you know, will make the world a better place. People say if there's God, why do bad things happen? But we are the cause of the bad things, humanity, right?
And we are the ones to fix it.
Yeah, we're the ones to fix it. Exactly. Let's go out there and be kind and speak up against injustice and evil, and, you know, certain, if you cannot speak, if you don't have the power to go anonymously and visit your office, go anonymously and report. If you cannot, if there are bodies that are like NGOs that support these things, like just send money, send your support, let your voice be heard, tweet about it, speak on social media, whatever it is, you know, just let's make our voice be heard and make the world a better place. Thank you so much for watching this channel. I think we want to play this game. This is the first time we're going to be playing it. Let's see how it goes, Amaka. I don't know if you have the questions ready or the question.
It's just one question.
Just one question. Okay, so Amaka is going to be quizzing me on some, you know, is it Bible quiz or some random fact? And if I'm able to answer it, I'm good. But if I'm not able to answer it, I do something Amaka wants me to do. So let's see. So Amaka, let's go.
Okay, so we'll be really fast. So the question is a fact and is a joke. So what part of the Bible talks about how Jesus makes his coffee?
You have 2
seconds.
Okay, it's my time over. 2 seconds. Okay, let's see. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I don't remember coffee or anything.
Like I said it's a joke, but
okay, time up. So what is it?
The answer is Hebrews.
Hebrews.
So he brews the coffee. So anyway,
that's ingenious. Okay. Okay. So what's my punishment? What do I do?
I don't want to be a bully, but you should do front jump.
Front jump. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, just close your leg. Close your leg. Okay, I'm okay.
Okay. Thank you, Amaka, for being so kind. Okay. In keeping with our talk today, being kind and, you know, thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed this episode and have a wonderful weekend. Until we see you again
next time. Be kind. Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.